Hey guys, quick video about yield nodes. So I've been asked a lot of questions about yield nodes recently and I've not put out a video for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd try and answer a couple of those questions here. I don't want to make it too long because I'm in the process of kind of moving things around in this room a bit, and as you can see, it's all a bit dark and things are not how they usually are, so I want to try and get this sorted. But I just wanted to put this video out today just to address a couple of those questions, seeing as we received the email from yield nodes today with the latest updates. So my thoughts on that. But the first thing I want to talk about is crypto influencers and YouTubers, because I've been asked a lot of questions about these people over the last few weeks. I'm not in the habit of like deliberately saying anything negative about other YouTubers or influencers, because that's not good for anyone. It's not good for those guys, having people say bad things about them, and it's not good for me because I don't want to say bad things about people, especially people I don't know. But I have been asked about crypto YouTubers like James Pelton, Chris McCauley, Liam Dyson from Crypto Yields UK, Drew Wolfer, those kinds of people who were at the yield nodes audit, and people who kind of promoted yield nodes prior to the audit and prior to things changing. I don't know if Drew Wolf was actually at the audit, if I'm honest with you. I've not seen him on the audit photograph, but I believe he did go to Malta last year. But Drew Wolfer seems to be, in my opinion, a straight up guy. I've spoken to him on email over the last year or so, and he seems like a straight enough guy. I've watched a lot of his videos. I think what he says is good. I like his content. I like his energy. I think he's a wacky guy, and I haven't got anything bad to say about Drew Wolfer. Out of all of the guys who did go to the audit, Drew Wolfer's the only person who's really spoken out about yield nodes since, and asked a lot of questions regarding what's happening with yield nodes. So, I've got a lot of time for Drew Wolfer. As for the other guys, I don't know Chris McCauley. I've seen some of his content in the past. Got a good channel, got a big following. But I didn't see any of his yield node stuff, if I'm honest with you, so I can't really comment on that. Liam Dyson, I don't really know. I've seen some of his videos, obviously more recent videos I've seen because of we're discussing yield nodes, so I've seen some of his videos. Nothing bad to say about him. I don't know him. He seems like a nice enough fella. I can't say anything about him. James Pelton, kind of on the fence about James Pelton. Again, I've got nothing against him personally. I have spoken about him, and I have questioned him directly about things and his motives in the past. Not trying to try and antagonize him or anything, but just when he said something or done something that I might not necessarily agree with, then I've kind of asked him about it. But he's since blocked me on Twitter anyway, so I can't really ask him anything. But anyway, why I talk about those guys is because those guys were at the audit, and people have asked me directly, do I think they were paid off by yield nodes to not talk about it anymore, because none of them do, other than Drew and obviously Liam, but that's very there's obviously a good relationship there between Liam and yield nodes. Do I think they were paid to attend the audit? Probably. I don't know. I'm sure they received some kind of compensation. Believe they got the food paid for. I don't know about the accommodation or the airfare, and I don't know if they received any kind of reward for going. I don't know, is the honest answer, but I doubt they did it for nothing. Do I think that they've had their investments back from yield nodes since things have turned out the way they have? I don't know. But what I do know is that none of these guys, really, none of the big guys, well, let's just stick to Chris McCauley and James Pelton, because obviously we know what's happening with Drew. Drew's asked questions. We know what's happening with Liam. James Pelton and Chris McCauley, I don't know much about Chris, and I've not seen any of his yield nodes content. He hasn't put anything out since the audit, and well, he might have done, but he's removed it if he did, and he's not put anything out about the current state of yield nodes now. Same with James Pelton. He's not put out any new content on yield nodes. He's removed all kind of evidence that he ever talked about yield nodes, as far as I can see on his channel, including the audit video. So that, that does make people ask questions, obviously. Why? I don't know. All I can think is, A, he doesn't care about the money. Let's talk about James Pelton specifically, because, like I say, I don't know much about Chris. So no offense, James, but A, he doesn't care about the money, and that could be true because the guy's got a lot of money from what I can see. He got a lot of money from selling his business, from what he said in the past, and he gets a lot of money every month from his investments, whether that's DeFi or crypto or other investments, whatever it is, or businesses. He makes a lot of money, so maybe he doesn't care. I'd be surprised if that was the case, though, because €130,000 is a lot of money for anybody, regardless of how much money you've got. So I'd be saying something. I'm not happy, and I've only got five grand locked up in yield nodes. No, I'm not even going to say locked up. I'm going to say I've lost $5,000 in yield nodes. So I am pissed. So I'd be pissed if I'd lost 130. So there's that. Maybe he's had his investment back. I don't know. Maybe he has. Maybe they've just paid him other money. Yield nodes may have paid him other money to kind of distance himself from yield nodes. They've certainly not paid him money to promote yield nodes, because he's not promoting yield nodes. So, maybe he's had other money to not promote it. Maybe the non-disclosure agreement that they signed when they went to the audit included don't ever talk about yield nodes again, or anything relating to yield nodes or Decenemy or yield nodes pro. I can't see that, though. I thought that non-disclosure agreement was to do with the audit and nothing more. So I don't know. If he hasn't had his money back and he's still got 130,000 locked up in yield nodes, then if I was him, I would be putting out content, either pro yield nodes and saying, can't wait to see what happens with yield nodes pro and Decenemy and the NFTs. Great, I'm fully behind this project. Or I'd be putting out content saying, I've got 130 grand stuck in yield nodes, and what they're saying with these NFTs is a load of rubbish, and I don't believe in it at all. And I want some action. And you guys who invested because I promoted yield nodes, I'm going to be there for you guys and try and use my platform to find out more. And he's not doing any of that. So I've got no answers. But you guys just, I've given you a few things to think about there, and a few things I'm thinking about. And obviously I can't come to a conclusion and an answer, because I'm never going to be able to come to one. But there's things to ponder there. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about that. And if possible, send him a message on Twitter. Send James Pelton a message. Send Chris McCauley a message. I don't want to just focus purely on James Pelton, but send these guys messages and ask them, what's going on, guys? Why are you not talking about yield nodes anymore? Or did you get paid out? And if you did, how can we get paid out? Or whatever. Ask them questions. Okay, so that was it anyway. And by all means, ask Drew Wolfer questions as well, because Drew Wolfer will put out a video. If you send him questions and ask him questions, and he gets enough, people asking, he will put out a video and he will ask them questions himself. So I'm sure he will anyway. I'm not Drew's best mate, by the way. Don't get me wrong. And he might say, do one, I'm not interested. But I think he would probably answer some of your questions if you asked him, and possibly put out a video as well about it. So that was that. Other thing, quickly, because I've gone on too long about those influencers now, is the email that was sent out this morning from Yield Nodes. Let me just open up my other window. So this is the email that came from Steve this morning, and it says, we're pleased to bring you a critical update on our latest developments. For a comprehensive overview, please view the video below. So that's the video where Liam interviews Steve, and they talk about these things and other things in depth. Key highlights is the NFT claim deadline extension. So the deadline to claim your NFT has now been extended to the end of the year. So this was end of October. If you didn't claim your NFT by the end of October, that was it. You couldn't do anything with it. And if you left your balance in yield nodes, then there would be a fee for doing that. But now they've decided that there is no fee for that as well. So down here it says no penalty, no claim, for non-claim. So if you choose not to claim the NFT, rest assured there'll be no associated fees once Yield Nodes Pro is launched, whilst you'll miss out on specific benefits tied to the NFT. So Liam does ask Steve the awkward question of, okay, so what benefit is it to people by getting the NFT if you're not going to get fined or, a fee for not claiming it? What benefits are there to claiming it? And then Steve talks about how Urs is out in some Arab countries, and that's why he's been AWOL. Apparently, it seems he's off in the desert somewhere, and he's trying to drum up business to generate new coins to bring into the Disenemy network. And if you don't claim the NFT, then you will not get any of those profits from any of those new coins that come into Disenemy. So having the NFT, you will benefit more, you'll get more profits. Basically, that's what they're saying. They also say that there's going to be an audit in 2023, and they're saying that they're in talks with one of the big four auditing firms, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, KPMG, or PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to undertake this important task. I don't believe for 1 second any of those big four accountancy firms will touch yield nodes with a barge pole. My opinion, I used to work in finance myself. I used to work in an accountancy firm. So that's just my opinion. There's a post on Reddit here. If you have a look, it's this post, 127% buyback. What does this mean? If you read through this, someone talks quite a bit about the audit. Westside Sicko, who isn't me, by the way, but he says there's absolutely no way one of the four major accountancy firms would audit this shit, and I tend to agree. Have a read through that and see what you think. Also, check out the video here. This was the point I talked about. It was at 4:20 when Liam talks about, he asked a question about the benefits of the NFT. There's a few things here that Steve says that, doesn't make a lot of sense, really. He talks about Disenemy, he talks about Yield Nodes Pro. No mention of like the real world investments and all these companies that sorry, I think that might be my microphone. All these investments into these real world companies, there's been nothing about that, and we don't even know where we are with that. So, we need solid, real information. If they're going to put out these videos, it needs to be information, not just like changes to previous announcements. So, obviously, they announced that there was going to be a fee for not claiming your NFT. That's one of the latest announcements is, okay, so now there's not. Well, we never even got told what that fee was going to be. So, it's not even real announcements. Yes, there'll be a fee. What is it? We're not saying, okay, there's not going to be a fee. So, I mean, what's that all about? Secondly, they talk about the audit with one of the big four, but they've spoke about an audit before with other companies, I think, that didn't take place. I need to check my information there, but I think that was the case. So I'll find that out for the next video. I don't think the audit will happen. If it does happen, it certainly won't happen by the end of the year. Urs is off in the Arab countries looking for new coins. Where's this harebrained idea come from? I mean, this is like new coins. There's just so much, everything's just so up in the air. There's no real solid announcements and no real solid plan. And that's what we as investors need. If we're to believe everything that they say, and we're still here, Steve mentions in this video, there's voices out there who are doubtful and think that we're just, it's going to be a rug pull and that. But we're still here 1 year later, still working and still fighting. But nothing's happening. It's just announcement after announcement and change after change. Nothing solid is happening. So that's what we as investors need. Anyway, like I say, I wanted to keep it short. I could just talk for ages about this stuff. And there's loads of questions that people have asked me that I need to answer. But I'll put out another video in the coming weeks and just try and make it more thorough and go over those questions. But in the meantime, if you've got any questions, come and join my Discord server. There is a group there. You know, some people come and chat now and again. If you've got questions that you think I might be able to help answer, or maybe there's someone from Disenemy in there as well, so maybe he can answer from the other side, and someone from Yield Knows Legal in there as well, so maybe they can answer some of your questions. Or if you don't join my Discord, check out Reddit, ask your questions there. Check out the Yield Nodes group on Facebook. People talking about stuff there as well. Don't jump into anything without really understanding what you're doing, because you could make a serious error. I haven't got all the answers, but I'm just hoping that you don't just jump in blindly if you don't really know what you're doing, especially when it comes to claiming the NFT. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon, and I will answer many more of those questions in the next video. Take care, see you soon, and all the best for now.